Coach, if you want to start us off with a quick opening statement, we'll open it up to questions.
Not too much to say other than, I'd like to give Lafayette a lot of credit. I thought they were well coached and ready for a 3-round fight, that's for sure. And, when you give teams some opportunities as good as they are, then, they're going to take advantage of them. So, I think the one positive I think we can find out of this weekend, although we didn't come out on the winning ledger, that you could sign up to open your season against a quality team like Lafayette, as I made mention, and find yourself in 3 straight extra inning games, and that we can hope to find some learning experiences from them as we get going down the road. So hopefully it'll make us better. I told the kids simply this, that I love them whether we win or lose. They're a great bunch of kids, and we just can't let it pop the balloon this early in the season. And we can be disappointed tonight. Gonna have to get up tomorrow, shake it off a little bit, and then we're right back on the saddle on Tuesday against UNL. So anyways, all the credit to Lafayette. They're gonna have a hell of a season.
Questions for Coach Jewett?
Travis, it's not often you get 20 hits, swing the bats that well, and only score 7 runs. Just what are your sometimes it came through in the clutch, other times it came really close and couldn't quite come through with the hit to put the team ahead.
Yeah, so the 20 hits obviously would lead to traffic, right? Just activity on the base paths, which we had quite a bit, and then we weren't able to find the outfield grass, so to speak, as much as we obviously would have liked to. I will tell you, this is a unforgiving game, as you know. I thought we landed on a few balls pretty good, even late. I thought Hayden Hastings' swing coming off the bench was – yeah, he did. And, if that was earlier in the game, I think it's a different result. And Burns' ball there late and Minder's ball to center. And so, we landed on some balls. I thought we obviously swung the bat the best today as we have for the weekend. And that's a good sign because I just think we're getting into a little bit better rhythm and things like that. Offensively, this team's talented enough to come through. But, I often say it's kind of a catch-22 when you're talking about, a bunch of hits and leaving runners on base. At least you got them there. So we did have those opportunities throughout the game. And, I think a character trait that we are showing early in this season, even through losing the series, is there's some fight in us. We continue to put guys on base late and get quality at-bats and force, the tying and winning runs to the plate and things like that. So that's good. There's no give up or give in this group, I can tell. So, again, that too I think will be something that'll be important going forward.
You had a chance to create more separation early when you had your 5-hit inning. Throwing guy checks on the ball to make sure it's not caught, comes in, is thrown out at the plate, and then a misplayed ball in the outfield leads to a quick 4 runs for them. Do you feel like that was maybe the most crucial part of the game, the way it turned out?
Well, I really do, Garrett, and I think that's the thing that I'm trying to emphasize with the team right now is that, all the little things matter, and yesterday we were careless with the ball from the mound to the catcher, from the catcher to the place it was supposed to go, from the pitcher to the first baseman, and so we were just a little bit careless with it, and it made us pay, and they're not always in the 9th inning, and they can happen at any time. And today, I thought Jack threw the ball extremely well, and we have a fly ball on a college baseball field that hits the ground. That's not good. That ended up, like you mentioned, that one fly ball was a 3-run swing right there. And when you're talking about a tight game against a very good team, those things like that, those are oftentimes the difference in the game, and it certainly was tonight. So wind was blowing, and, the ball was up into right field, and I think Logan thought it was his off the bat, and it just kind of kept fading, and the ball just kind of dropped down between those two, obviously, and they got the big inning out of it. So there it was, and whatever inning that was, fairly early in the game, and, just to my, mention here, those little things like that need to be obtained and grabbed as outs and things like that, they all matter.
And heck of a debut for Bennett Lee, and then he hurt his leg. What was it, a hamstring, or what happened? Do you know how significant that's going to be?
Well, I don't know how significant. It took him to his knees, so he said he felt a pretty good pop there. So yes, it's a hamstring. He could be down for a little bit, I would assume. So we'll get him checked out here tonight and get him in the training room, hopefully. And young stud like him, it's a good combination for a quick recovery. So we'll wish the best, but we got to kind of see where it's at. He's a heck of a kid, Obviously, I had no fear in giving him a start tonight, and you could see what he does with the bat. I mean, the kids call him Benny Barrels, and I think you saw why. So the kid can hit. I really like the way he caught the ball. I think he's got a bright future, no doubt.
UL was 8 for 8 on stolen bases this weekend. Moving forward, how concerning is that for you?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you just said 8 for 8. I thought it was 800 for 800. Yeah, that's very concerning. We're going to have to, as we always try to do, evaluate, holistically the entire team. And when you see somebody manipulate you like that, we're going to have to do something about it. I mean, I think the catchers are going to have to step up their game for sure, and I think the pitchers are going to have a piece of that recipe too, and we've got to be able to hold the ball better. We've got to be able to step off with some vigor. We've got to be able to pick with some aggression over the base. We've got to do some things that would create some doubt versus an aggressive base running team like them, just so they know that we're thinking about it and we're not just going to let it be. It's kind of like a bunt, Gare, where we say it all the time. It's not the bunt, it's the threat of the bunt. It's the ability for our guys to show a bunt. Even if we don't, it pulls people in, it creates pockets in the field. It's the same thing with the pickoff. It's not so much that you're picking to pick them off. You're picking to just let them know that you're thinking about them, making them get cement in their shoes, so to speak, right? And just let them know that, we mean business and we're not going to just let you do what they did. And we were here for a baseball game, not a track meet. And we're going to have to certainly address it because, as you know, in college baseball, in any sport, I'm sure there's these things called scouting reports. And, that'll get out there quickly. So we're going to have to do something about it.
I'm not sure Tulane's ever played a weekend series with Louisiana Lafayette before. You wanted a different result, but dramatic. All 3 games could have gone either way. They were all incredibly exciting way to start off the college baseball season. What are your thoughts on having a series like that to start the year? And do you feel like you might do the same thing in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I like good competition. I think that's good for the kids. It's certainly not the result, like you had made mention, that we were looking for. But I do think even through defeat, quality competition, as we made mention, extra innings, there's a lot of positives out of it. Playing somebody that you're going to beat 20-0 or whatever, I don't know what that does in terms of a value for you going forward. So we got a stiff test right out of the gate. We knew when we changed the schedule 5 and 6 times, the way it is set up now, it's a bear, and it's not going to get any easier. Tuesday, UNO kind of has our number, and then not looking too far ahead, we're off to Starkville to play Mississippi State. So, we're going to have to get off the ground here quick, Gare, and the kids can be disappointed tonight. I certainly am, but we're not going to let this pop our bubble. We've got to stay together. We got to stay connected, and we got to get our dukes up, man, and come back out fighting.
And one last thing, is it an optional rule this year that you can do what the major leagues did last year and start a runner on second base at the beginning of the extra innings, and do both staffs have to agree to that? And what was the discussions on that? Obviously, it could have come into play in all 3 games.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Because on Friday before we got started, that was a discussion that was in play, and Coach Deggs and I both were like, no shot. Here we are, opening weekend, 3-game series. No, we want to play as much as we can, and I guess we kind of got what we asked for, so a lot of free baseball this weekend. So that is correct, though. The Major League Baseball rule is in play this year if agreed upon. I know our league in particular has already decided it, so when we get into those 4-game weekends inside a conference, that will be the scenario. So all 3 of these games would have started, with a runner on second base and nobody out.
Okay. I hate that rule, but I understand.
Yeah.
It's in there. I'm glad you guys didn't do it this weekend, even though the results were what they were.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time as always.
Well, thank you for covering us. I appreciate it, and we'll be all right. We'll get up off the floor and we'll get back to competing. These guys are good enough. We can do this.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you.
Thank you.